Oh, you know what? I almost forgot to share. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. You know what? Sometimes I just get so fired up. And this morning it really hit me just how powerful a subject willpower is, and it's, we are, I wouldn't say we were paying lip service to it. I believe we're paying more than lip service to this subject, but you can definitely go into this more. And I've realized I definitely want to do a masterclass that has a massive part of willpower, because I know that this is the secret sauce for so many people that's going to help you guys create an amazing life just by really getting your head around willpower, winning at willpower. So who's fired up right now? Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really blown away by yesterday, just by the amount of people that took the time, to download this and to fill it in. And, this is one of the most important exercises I believe you will ever do in your life. When you look at success, you look at what do successful people do? Well, they always leave clues, and they're very committed to the long-term vision of who they are becoming. So they're less interested in the instant gratification of today. They're more interested in putting in some work to reap the rewards of what they are doing. That's how we're all wired up. I hope you all guys realize that. We're not really designed to live in this world that we're living in now, with constant stimulation, constant gratification, which stimulates our brain, which makes us secrete so much of the hormone dopamine, constantly looking, constantly checking, looking for things, getting little hits of dopamine. And dopamine is a very addictive, but what is such a other great hormones are serotonin, GABA, endorphins that are secreted through sometimes activity that it takes a little bit of effort sometimes. But in saying that, you release the hormone oxytocin just through a hug. You release serotonin just by smiling. You release endorphins by laughing, by moving. And this week is incredibly powerful when we're looking at willpower, because willpower outpredicts. Let me say it again. I've said it a few days already. If you haven't shared this, guys, please share it. Get it out there. I appreciate that some of you on your feed, you might just be images of me, but you never know. Someone might watch this, and this could be the turning point in their life as they start to really realize what is important, why they struggle, and what they can do about it. So let me just put this down. By the way, happy, beautiful day from the My365 crew. You see, these are books, right? And we are here to help you create the book of your life. Every day is a blank page. Every day you have an opportunity to write a great story. So when you begin with the end in mind, when you think back, when you come to the end of your life, oh, look at that. Isn't that weird? This is really weird. You're not going to believe this. I promise you this is not something I've staged. Look which book I've just picked out. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, of all the books, I've got maybe 2 or 3 on willpower. But if you want to look at this book, you can see how many markings I've made in this book. I have studied willpower for so long because it's such a fascinating study. And this is all about the marshmallow test that was done, where children were offered a marshmallow and said, look, if you eat it, you can eat it now. If I come back, when I come back, you can have 2. And those children were followed for decades. And it was one of the biggest studies which has ever been done, showing the power of willpower. You've got it, I've got it. But look, doing this exercise yesterday, really important, but it's not the sort of thing that you do once. In fact, you might want to write this down, okay? You might want to write this down. Don't practice things until you get them right. Don't practice things until you get them right. Practice things until you can't get them wrong. Practice things so you etch in your brain what it is that you're doing, who you are committed to becoming. Who are you committed to becoming? Because if you don't commit to becoming someone, then you'll just be a victim, in many cases, to who you were in the past. You can't change the past, but you can definitely write the future. And for me, this is like Ebenezer Scrooge. When Scrooge sees how his future could end out if he didn't end up changing his ways, and that's why the negative consequences I will experience when I don't live up to my ideal self. For me, I would be unhealthy, depressed, sad, unhappy, bored, fat, and feeling of not being who I was capable of becoming. So once you know who you're capable of becoming, then you've actually got to start taking some action, which most of you know. Now, this is deeply profound and really important that you get your head around what I'm about to say. So, willpower. Is it finite? Do we have a certain amount? I believe it's finite and it's infinite. Now, what does that mean? Think about this. Does your attitude count? Does your attitude make a difference? Of course it does. Changing our attitude is essential, but we need tools. We need tools so that our attitude doesn't get triggered for us to go back and think and act in ways we have in the past. What I'm trying to say is you need willpower to get willpower. Let me say that again. You need willpower to get willpower. So this morning, I got up at 3:45 in the morning. I know it's very early. I went to bed early, but I've got a lot of work that we're working on now, some great stuff that we'll be able to share with you soon. More masterclasses, a whole lot of other great stuff. But I in my mind, I know, right, I meditate. If then, I will. So I always set myself up to do the things that are important, but I don't always feel like it. I often resist meditation. Why? Because it means I've got to slow down. And most of you know that I can operate very fast. I often resist doing yoga. Why? Well, it's actually quite challenging, to move my body around and to stretch it out. It's actually quite challenging. So you need willpower to get yourself to get in the kitchen and start cooking. You need willpower just to start exercising. It's called just get started. Most of you know this, but what I want you to do, especially for our new members, is to challenge yourself a little bit and notice, look, if I invest a little bit of willpower into getting started, into exercising, into meditating, or whatever it is that you know is a good thing for you to do, that you know that is in keeping with your ideal self. When you think about your ideal self, does your ideal self eat well? Does your ideal self live well? Does your ideal self exercise, move? You see, if this is the case, which I believe it is, I can't imagine that any of you have written down, my ideal self is fat, unhealthy, bored, depressed, right? So you need a little bit of willpower, but what I want you to do is notice that if you needed the willpower to get yourself to do it, how much willpower did you have afterwards? If you eat McDonald's when your willpower is low, your blood sugar levels are low, and you eat that, how much willpower do you have afterwards? If you watch television for 2 hours, right, how much willpower do you have after doing that? How much willpower do you have if you don't move all day? It's fascinating. This is so fascinating to me. And this is why in our journal, the My365 journal, a key part of this is the Magnificent Seven, which is about eat right, drink right, think right, move right, talk right, sleep right, poop right. It's all about, if you get these things right, you will have, I would say, an infinite amount of willpower. How much willpower do you think I have? I have a lot for a few reasons. And one of those reasons I'd like to share with you tomorrow. But today, I want you to understand, look, you can have a lot more willpower if you decide. And this is why most of you know, again, you often have like a 5-second window to act if you feel that I'm going to do this. But I would always say this, and I would write this down: set yourself up to win the game. The first 90 minutes in the morning is a real crucial time for most of us to go to work on what's wildly important. I know it's not always possible because of our life, our jobs, our kids, whatever, the fact that we work nights maybe, but it's important to set yourself up to win, that you have. If you want to drain your willpower, it's very easy. Go over and over and over and over and over. Let me tell you this one thing, and before we wrap things up, and thank you so much again, record numbers of people. Look, we've had maybe 12 people drop off this week, because you know what normally happens? People's willpower is high and they just go back to what they normally do. You're going to have to work at creating the unbelievable you. This is my main point today. You need willpower to get yourself to do the things, in many cases, that are important. They're going to help you create your ideal self, whether it's a book you're reading, something you're doing. You need willpower to get yourself to do it. But if you say to yourself, I know, but by doing this, my willpower will increase, it will probably double by saying it rather than begrudging it. But what we've got to do is get out of ruminating. We've got to become people of action. Ruminating, what does that word mean? Well, what do cows do? They eat grass, swallow it, throw it back up, and then do it again. Ruminate, 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 ruminate. That's what we do with our thoughts. We go over and 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 over, and then we wonder why our willpower drains. If you want to think negatively, you'll feel negatively, your willpower will go boom. Just become a person of action. Become a person. You say, well, I'm not that sort of a person. Yes, you are. If a fire was in your room right now, you wouldn't go, listen, I haven't got time for this. You are a person of action. It's time to apply that action. So please do not just do this once. I challenge all of you. People I've worked with would do this, or still do this. People who I privately coach, they do this every single day. A very similar exercise to this. Who are you committed to becoming? We etch it in the brain. Remember what I've said so many times? Success is often boring, but it's doing the monotonous things. I don't even think they're monotonous. It's grooving things. It's making it so much clearer to you. Don't make this being like at school. We say, I did it, I done it. No. It's time for you to wake up. My goal is to have enlightened people all over the world that are creating an amazing life. Stay plugged in, stay connected. And this is such a powerful subject, willpower. You wouldn't believe the notes that I've been making on it. And I'll tell you why you need willpower more than ever. It's because of this. Kryptonite. Everyone has kryptonite. Things that hold you back, things that are constantly in your way, whether it's drinking too much, eating too much, drugs, gambling, whatever it is. Everyone has it. You need willpower to be able to deal with the kryptonite in your life. And we will look at this in more detail. I really appreciate everybody. And, if we want to change this around and we want to create this amazing life, we have to really think about who we want to become, how we want to leave this earth. Happy, beautiful day, everyone. I really appreciate all of you being here. Let's have a look at a few people's comments here before we wrap things up. Belinda, have used the 5-second rule for a number of years. Don't think, jump out of bed, go to Costa, set up my day up the time, thinking time, willpower used this week to get off the caffeine, trying to balance menopause hormones and get on the permanent. Belinda, you want to try this coffee? Healthiest coffee in the world, pH of 7. Many people here will tell you about the healthiest coffee in the world. If you want to know about that, you can contact us. We will gladly, in fact, you can check it out. Happy, beautiful day, everyone. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. In fact, you guys can check this out if you want to. .me/. Check that out. It works. There you go. Guys, I really appreciate everyone's comments. It's amazing. The community, the what's happening here is just so awesome. And we really, really, really appreciate it. Happy, beautiful day, everyone. We'll see you soon. Much love to all. Since I've been drinking this, I haven't had a cough, I haven't had a cold for 4 years. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Go to work. Do this again. Keep doing this. Don't print it off and do one a day, right? One a day every day. I have to run out. Goodbye, Kate. And once again, guys, oh, hang on. Almost forgot. Say goodbye to you guys on Instagram. Let's end it. Let's just do a quick summary of today, which is not a bad idea for anyone anyway. So here we go. So this is day 4 on willpower. What have we been looking at today? We've been looking at the fact that in order to get willpower, you often need to expend a bit of willpower in doing the things that give it to you. What am I talking about? Well, it's pretty obvious. We are talking about exercise. If you exercise, you might not feel like doing it, but as we say on My 365, what is not feeling like got to do with it? Athletes don't feel like it. They recognize what they have to do and they do it. So what I'm saying is you need willpower to start cooking a healthy meal. You need willpower often to make that better choice of drinking water rather than drinking Coke. But you will get more willpower rather than watching television for 2 hours. You might get a hit, or drinking alcohol, you might get a hit, but there's always a reaction for it. Let's commit to building our willpower and make your world and the world a better place. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for a complete summary, and I'll let you know what we're doing. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. All the best. Ta-ta for now.